from the senior position or juniors, right? Do you feel a sense of responsibility for the other folks of color on campus or the other males on campus, like to kind of take them under your wing?
I'll say for me, I did it moving crew this year. I met this freshman Amari, so I was like, "Yo, if you need anything, here's my number.
Right.
I'll help you out." Then I'll tell anybody if they need something, you can find me. I'll help you out because it's hard out here as a freshman. We made a group chat on Snapchat.
And we had it.
Every black male that we met our freshman year in our grade, we had a group chat of.
It had over 100 heads.
So that's what we did. But then as I got older, it was like, all right, I'm seeing this. I don't want no kid to just be out here feeling uncomfortable in a situation. So I'll pull up to a student and be like, all right, what you need? You need help with this? I got you. Like, if you need a haircut, go to this dude or this spot. Nah, this is not the spot you need to go to, all right? Those little things add up to at a certain extent.
And it's crazy, because like to Miles, I think, and this is stuck with me because it's something you said to me that I always think about. He's like, I didn't come here to school to save someone, and that stuck, bro. I don't even think you remember that. Like, it stuck with me because it's like, we don't come to institutions of higher learning to fix the institution we're going. Like, at the end of the day, you're trying to get a degree and be out. But at the same time, like, in terms of like, this is going to be my alma mater and like having love and pride for where you are, because like this is where you are, you chose to be here. So at the same time, it's not my job to fix it, but in terms of like part of a culture. So like, if you want something better, and again, maybe it's just, it depends on like your level of like what you think is important to you. I think about the collective, about like, again, like who's coming after, like Steph, Casey graduating, like there's gonna be another Steph, there's gonna be another Casey. And you know how Casey, he said like coming in, he didn't have anybody, but like you can be someone who changes that.
I think about it at least in terms of the struggle, right? Like, I feel like my generation felt like we had a responsibility because of the previous generation's struggle, right? Whether that had been out there in the world as a black person, whether that had been, you know, on a predominantly white campus, I always felt like I had to leave it better than the previous generation did. So Big Mike, you do a lot in the community as far as engagement goes with kids. That kind of rolls into all this as well, right?
Yep, absolutely. I know as that things is tough coming up as a, you know, teens, whatever, you know. I know it's hard out here. And me coming up, it wasn't easy neither. You understand? So it's just me and my moms, and not having no father, just not having a father around. It like changed me, my mental everything, because you go into, even though I made the football team, I made the basketball team and all of that during school, but when I looked around, I ain't see my mother or father there. We used to have group leaders when I was young. It'd be like 10 or 12 of us, and the group leaders would come and take us to Sleeping Giant. They'd take us to West Rock. I started a nonprofit for kids, for teens, for youth, you understand? So when they find themselves discouraged or whatever, they could always come to Big Mike, you know, and I'll talk to them, mentor them, do any type of thing that's necessary, you know, to get their mind right, because a lot of time kids is off track, man. But I know the kids in the inner city, they ain't saying that stuff, you understand? So
it's about creating that experience.
Creating a new idea, a new mindset.
Part of my passion, right, is to change your mind so you can start doing some of this for yourself.
Yeah.
Right? A little earlier than when you're a junior or when you're a senior, right? So what are some of the ways that you all, pathways, right, to creating some of that experience for yourselves and cultivating that on campus to combat some of that we face at a PWI?
Me and Esau went to Dominican Republic with Professor Sawyer over a spring break and a couple other girls, and that was eye-opening. The girls had showers the first week because we were living at a resident home. And me and Esau, we're roommates because we're the only two boys on the trip. And then we go to a house. I go in the bathroom because I had to go to the bathroom after a long ride. I see there's a bucket in the tub. I'm like, yo, what is going on here? I ain't got no shower. I can't twist it.
No warm water, nothing.
The water was cold. The bathroom was cold. You had to do whatever you had to do. So I had my soap, and then by the end of the time, I'm done pouring. I was like, yo, Esau, I'm sorry, but you ain't got that much water left.
So I got to figure out how I'm about to shower and everything.
But the crazy thing, he did the same thing the next day because he went first. But that perspective is eye-opening of being able to just twist the knob and water comes flowing out. but then sometimes you gotta wait a couple of days to refill that one
Facts.
bucket.
Ooh.
Because we had to wait 2 days for that one bucket to be
To
refilled.
fill, oh God. By the way, what he's talking about like the global solidarity trips like the school does. And like that's
You should
that's
go on one, by the way,
Yeah,
go on
and,
one,
and
go
I
on
think
one.
that's one thing the school, like I'll give the institute, like that's something we definitely do right. Because like unlike other like places where like I hate the idea of like missionary trips. I hate it. Like especially being like an African kid myself, like watching people go to like quote unquote like villages where
And take pictures
they have
with
like
a bunch of
like a
little
god like a
kids.
god complex, like a savior complex, and they're picking up kids and like just take it like people do stuff for clout when the purpose of like the trip we went on
And
like
throwing
it's-
shade.
yeah. So like it was more like acting like we were like we met with the people,
Whoa.
we met like we heard their problems, we heard like how they wanted to see change. I think about like grow up and even think about my parents. Like my parents, I was born during the Civil War in my country. My parents had to escape and they came here as refugees. And like to hear about this story, like see what they did to get where they are now, and then what I had to do to get to where I am now. Like people only talk about basketball or football or stuff, and like because like for them, they don't have anybody in their area or their neighborhood who's like a doctor. They don't know any teachers. They don't know professors. So like for them, their only escape is through sports. But you don't know what's out there again until like you meet somebody who shows you something different. So like
That's like me when I met you. Private school's expensive. I didn't go to public schools at all. So like when I go, my parents said, you can play sports, but your grades got to be right first. For some people, it's not like that.
Yep.
Some people it's
people,
just, all right,
sports are first.
you go there, you going to hoop, that's what you're there for. You're there to play sports. Maybe we can get a scholarship or something.
A lot of kids, I don't mean to cut you off, but a
you
lot of
good.
kids, if they don't like eat up in sports, they don't have anything.
yeah.
Like that's it for them.
Like, yeah. But then I met Esau. Me and Esau have two different upbringings. I have two parents in my household. Esau lives with his dad, and his family is not the way my family is. Like, I'm the type of person, if it starts to get low in my house, I'll go get some more before the bottle runs out. Esau's like, if it's not done, the bottle's not completely empty, I'm not getting nothing else.
Yeah.
Bottle what?
Upbringing, like anything.
Anything. Bro, I wasted nothing. Like when I grew up, my parents divorced. I grew up with my mom, and that's when I was like 12, my mom passed. So for a while, it was just me. I was just by myself until I moved in with my pops. I felt even at a young age, I had to be a grown man. I was like 6 years old, and like dealing with things that like 40, 38 like year old men never have to deal with. So I'm going to school. I'm living in projects, and like but going to school with like kids who make probably like 5 to 6 times as much as my mom was making working 3 jobs by herself. Like, so I'm listening to kids talk about going on vacation, and I've never experienced a vacation. Like my vacation was like going to a water park sometimes, Six Flags, and that's a lot of hood kids. So like now, if you know me, like, I travel all the time because I try to make it for the days where like that wasn't like a possibility for me. So it's like if you again, I think that again speaks to like if it wasn't for me, again, bridge it back to what you said in the beginning, like getting uncomfortable or like being in a position where nobody was there, but me try to take that initial first step, I would have met like I met Cass and SGA that like I don't want to say my white friends, but they my white friends, and like they showed me a world like
feel
to be
you.
real like.
Nah, I feel
I
you.
never would have met.
Oh, wait.
That's what I was gonna say,
I
hold
travel
on.
with you. I told you my bank account ain't right,
Right.
yet.
Nah, bro, I was gonna say though, I feel like that, like coming back to a responsibility, like I feel like I felt like that was my responsibility on this campus. I didn't see things I could change. I just saw, how can I change things in my daily? So when I'm in
that's
class and we have the opportunity to talk about our life, our experiences, I'm sharing those to the people, be the only black kid in the classroom. I'm gonna
Yeah.
share those experiences,
Might have never got that if it wasn't for you.
Exactly.
And you gotta beat their prejudice, Society makes us human based off how people are socialized. They really can't control things that they believe and things that they hold dear. So I just felt like, this was a chance to re-socialize people, to show them that, the color of our skin really doesn't matter. Like I'm sitting in the same classroom, I'm gonna go to the bookstore, buy the same book you bought. Like I'm doing the same things you're doing. So we're all capable of the same things, honestly.